finally got my hands on the freaking Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato 33 fragrance, and today I'm gonna let you guys know all my thoughts on it. I feel like I've been hearing about this perfume for what feels like months. I believe this got leaked, unfortunately, before it was officially announced and released. I had someone asking if I was gonna review this, and I was like, what new Kayali perfume? Like, what are you talking about? So I Google searched it, and I found someone selling samples on like Etsy or something, and I was like, what, is this even real? Like, is this a real perfume? What's happening? And then a little bit later, we actually got the official release announcement about this Pistachio Gelato perfume, which I was beyond excited to try. And then a lot of people have had their reviews coming out for a while if they got it in PR. I did purchase this myself, and I, tried not to watch too many reviews. I don't think I watched any full reviews. I've just seen some thumbnails here and there. I've heard some things. I was even more intrigued to get this thing in my hands. And then when I ordered it, right when it launched, it took a while to get here. So it's just, I feel like, this thing has been on my mind for a very long time. And I'm just gonna say it straight out. I'm gonna spray it on myself right now, which, the Kayali sprayer, beautiful, I gotta say. To break the tension, I will say I really enjoy this perfume. I really like it. Now. I don't think this is a safe blind buy at all. This wasn't anything I was actually expecting to smell, which is interesting. And honestly, the first time I smelled this, which was not even from my own bottle, I was waiting for this to still get to me, and I happened to go into a Sephora and I smelled it in there, and my initial smell of this perfume, I was confused. I didn't know if I liked it. I was kind of just like, what happened? But the more familiar I become with this scent, the more that I smell it, the more I am totally into it. So let's talk about some notes in here. They have a few of the main notes printed on the back. So pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy. I mean, I was definitely expecting a gourmand sweet scent, and you do get some of that in here, but there are also some aspects to this perfume that are not just straight up foodie, and I think that's throwing a lot of people off, and I think that's what threw me off also. I'll put the full list of Fragrantica notes up here, but upon initial spray of this perfume, I get something very fresh, I get something almost citrusy, and I also get something a little bit soapy and almost powdery. And so to me, this almost comes off a little like a laundry detergent or like dryer sheet brand is collaborating with like an ice cream shop, you know what I mean? Like, it's giving fresh meets creamy in a way. And so I was not expecting that kind of freshness from it. Well, actually I was a little bit, because again, I had seen some thumbnails, I had seen what was going on, which had me intrigued, but I definitely do get that freshness. I definitely get something not as creamy and maybe dense or, milky or like pistachio gelato that I initially thought. As this kind of dries down and develops, as I smell it more, I pick up a lot on that cotton candy. It comes off really sweet in the most delicious way. I love a cotton candy smell, and I really love how that sweetness is done in here. It also comes off a little bit powdery. I get something kind of like powdered laundry detergent in a way, but then also like a sweet powderedness as well coming through. I do get the nuttiness of not only the hazelnut, but the pistachio gelato that's in here. I definitely get some of that nuttiness going on. And to me, as it dries down, it gets like fluffier and a little bit softer, and it just turns kind of sweet. It's a little bit clean still, but I like it. This is not how I would expect a pistachio gelato perfume to smell necessarily, but I also, when I smell it, I get it. I totally get the inspiration. I'm like, oh yeah, that is it. It's just not how I would at all do it or how I would kind of tackle it. But I feel like once I get that out of my mind, I really do quite enjoy this perfume. To me, this is definitely one to kind of like hang out at home, kind of lounge around. I've heard from some of you guys that you like it for bedtime if you're someone who does enjoy this scent, and I definitely can see that as well. I don't know how much I'm like wearing this out to anything more substantial. I could see myself wearing it out for like errands and stuff, but I think it's really fun, and I kind of like that, again, it's done a little bit different, not only because I feel like it's a little more elevated. I feel like this could have been more foodie, and I think I would have still enjoyed that, but I do think there's something a little bit elevated by it not being just completely only pistachio gelato, like photorealistic smelling pistachio gelato. I kind of like that it's a little bit more elevated, a little bit different, and I feel like it's fun that it is a little bit unique, a little bit whimsical. I like that, and especially too because it's at Sephora, and so it's just more widely available. To me, it smells niche. I get something niche from this for sure, instead of something that could have been at Bath & Body Works works and I enjoy that. That kind of combination doesn't always work out for me because vanilla milk, I think it is, from Ellis Brooklyn. I also think that one smells a little more niche and a little more whimsical, if you will, but in a way that I don't like. So I'm very grateful and happy that I genuinely enjoy this perfume. But like I said, the first sniff was a little off-putting just for what I was expecting. And then as I've been wearing this, the more I wear it, the more I like it. My husband does not like this perfume. He thinks it smells like a hair salon. Yeah, he's not really into this one, but I'm really quite enjoying it. To give you some comparisons, like I'm trying to give you the vibe of it, and I feel like this to me smells like if Lush was coming out with a bath bomb that smelled like pistachio gelato. Like, I don't feel like Lush does tons of super creamy scents necessarily, and so I feel like this would be a similar smell to their take on a bath product. And I don't know, I just can picture Lush having this. A lot of the Lush scents to me are a little powdery. They just have that quality, and this kind of shares that quality, kind of like the newest perfume from Imaginary Authors that also has this kind of like powdered smell to it, and I feel like they kind of share that. I also feel like this is similar in how that powderiness, I guess, and sweetness also comes off in Princess, Kilian's Princess. These are not dupes by any means. I'm not saying they smell the same. I'm just talking about that very specific aspect. To me, the powderiness for some people, it might not seem sweet enough. And on some days and on some whiffs, I don't get as much sweetness as I do at other times. So I feel like if you really love Princess, you might like this. I would give it a smell. I wouldn't, again, blind buy this at all because I do think it's pretty unique and also just like probably different than what you're expecting. So that's something. Again, I don't get tons of like, there's whipped cream in here and there's marshmallow, but I get more of the sweetness going toward the cotton candy. I don't get, I mean, I get some of the fluffiness, but it's just not a creamy fluffiness. It's more of a powdery fluffiness. So I feel like if you're really hoping that that milkiness from like the whipped cream comes through, or creaminess comes through from that, I don't think you're gonna get that. Like, to me, instead of it being pistachio gelato, to me it's more like a pistachio opaque jello. You know, like I feel like that is more the actual smell I'm getting than a creamy kind of ice cream type dessert. To me, this is like one of those like retro jellos, but instead of it being like a translucent color, it's creamy and opaque, but it's still jello. You know, it's like, it's not like milky actually tasting. It still maybe has some brightness. It has a little bit of that pistachio nutty flavor, but it's also paired with fresher, brighter things as opposed to like milky, denser things. I think one of my last comparisons that I can give you for the video, I feel like if you enjoy Boardwalk Delight from Skylar, which is this vanilla coconut scent, but it also has a freshness, a kind of cleanness to it. I think of that as like a coconut milk, cotton candy, dryer sheet kind of smell. Again, these aren't dupes. Like, even though that has cotton candy and this has cotton candy, they are not dupes, but I just feel like if you like that combination of freshness and sweetness and gourmand and sugariness, I think you might like this as well. But you'll have to let me know if you like Princess from Kilian, if you like Boardwalk Delight from Skylar and you like this, let me know. If you don't, let me know also. But I just feel like those are some similar aspects I could kind of compare them to. I'm going to talk about the bottle a little bit because I think the bottle is absolutely stunning. Like, I love it. It is so cute, so spring. I feel like also because it is springtime, I do feel like this is an appropriate gourmand going into like spring and summer even. I think that you could wear this, like if you really like sweet scents, I think you could wear this into summer even. So I think that that also makes sense a little bit too. It's not so dense and heavy where it might be too cloying, although we'll see how it actually holds up in the heat. But the bottle I just think is stunning. I think it is so pretty. I got the 100 ml, and just to compare, like, you know, this is the Vanilla Royale one that came out, which was all gold. And I don't know, I just love this frosted bottle. I love that I can still see through it and see how much I have, which I feel like I already have a dent going because I've been spraying this so much. I'm telling you, it's one of those ones that once I get a cloud going, I am just like into it. I'm like breathing deep, you know, like really enjoying it. And I really love that kind of sugariness that it has. I love when I get that scent from it. That's like my favorite part. And like I said, the more I sniff this, the more I become familiar with this scent, the more I genuinely and truly like love it, like really, really enjoy it. And I was a little nervous at first when I smelled it in that Sephora and I knew it was still coming to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I should not have got the 100 mil, but luckily, and this does not always happen, a lot of the times it just stays where it was, like, it's okay. But luckily, I'm so glad, you know, getting that bubble around me, getting this on, I'm really enjoying it. When it comes to longevity, I don't get a ton of longevity from this. I feel like I'm respraying quite often just to get that sugariness, because as it dries down on me, you know, that sharper and sweeter sugar dies down and it gets just a little more powdery, a little bit softer. It's still sweet and still kind of fresh as well. But I like when it's like not at the initial spray, but also not completely in the dry down. That's like the sweet spot for me. The heart, I guess, is what you would say. I wish it lasted longer, but also it's one that I don't mind kind of respraying because it is such a specific scent. Like, it's a very specific scent. I don't think I've smelled anything quite like it. And I think that's kind of fun, but it's nice that you can like spray it and, you know, maybe use it for bed and it wouldn't be too overpowering. It's not gonna like be a beast on you while you're sleeping. So I'm super into it. I know this one's a little bit divisive. I feel like that's how the Vanilla Royale was as well. So, you know, I feel like the Kayali launches are just hyped and exciting, and then you figure out what side of the line you're on. Do you love it? Do you hate it? And luckily with this one, I really, really love it. When I think of the perfumes from Kayali, I would say this is in my top 3. Like, I love Vanilla 28. That's like probably top. I love the Utopia Cocoa Vanilla. I really love that for spring and summer, but I think then this would be in the top 3 because I'm trying to think of what else I have. Like, the cherry one wasn't my favorite. Like, it's okay. I like the apple one. That's like also okay to me, but this is past okay. This is like, I genuinely like really, really like it. And then same with the Vanilla Royale. I do like this one. It's just more of a specific perfume. Like, I just am not gonna just spray this on lounging. And I think the fact that this one is so casual for me is another reason I really like it too, because I can kind of like easy reach for it, you know? It doesn't have to be a dressed up moment. It doesn't have to be a going out moment. And I kind of like that as well. So I think that's everything. Let me check my notes because I was like writing some things down, trying to like remember and give you guys like everything I was thinking. I've been testing this for like the last 2 basically full days, and I felt like I had my thoughts on it. Like, I don't need to keep going. I think it'd be interesting if this was even more nutty. I kind of wish I could smell that, but I kind of like that it just has enough nuttiness that you can smell it, but it's, you know, it's not like too salty almost. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Where do you stand? Do you like this perfume? Do you not? I want to hear all your thoughts. What do you compare it to? So happy I love it. I'm so excited to keep wearing this. I definitely think this is one that's gonna get a lot of wear for me going into spring, so that's super exciting. Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the review and I hope it was helpful, but other than that, I'm gonna leave it here. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.